You ever do that thing where you open your banking app and you already know what you're going to see, but you open it anyway? And it's like rent or mortgage hit, a couple subscriptions you forgot you even had, 3 small online orders that somehow equal a car payment, and then you're staring at your checking account thinking, where did my money go? And maybe you're not even irresponsible. You've got a job, you pay your bills, you're not buying yachts, you're not flying private, but somehow, every month, you end up in the exact same spot. I'll start budgeting next month. If you're the type of person who tries budgeting, downloads an app, makes categories, and then by day 12, you're like, okay, this is a joke, this is for you. Because there's a budgeting method that quietly beats most budgets. Not because it's stricter, because it's simpler, and it works with your brain instead of against it. It's called the reverse budget. And look, once you see it, it's hard to unsee how most budgeting advice is backwards. My name is Charlie, and I spend way too much time thinking about the reverse budget that quietly beats most budgets. If you're someone who keeps trying to budget, but your spending still leaks out in random places, and you never feel like you're making progress, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Here's the thing. Most budgets fail for a reason that has almost nothing to do with math. It's psychology, it's friction, it's decision fatigue. Traditional budgeting asks you to be a calm, rational robot in a world designed to make you impulsive and tired. So today, I'm going to show you why most budgets collapse even when you do them right. The reverse budget formula that's simple enough to stick to, real math with real numbers, the psychology that makes it work, and the exact steps to set it up today. And yes, early on, we're going to challenge a couple common sense money beliefs, because some responsible advice is accidentally sabotaging people. The most common budgeting belief sounds responsible. Track every dollar, categorize everything, stick to the plan. In theory, great. In real life, it's like telling someone, to lose weight, just count every calorie forever. You do it for a week, maybe 2, then life hits. You're busy, you're stressed, you're hungry, you're human. And the budget turns into this weird guilt spreadsheet you avoid because it makes you feel like you're failing. And there's research behind why this feels so hard. People have limited attention and limited self-control, and the more decisions you force yourself to make, the worse your decisions get as the day goes on. This is often described as decision fatigue, and it's been observed in multiple studies on judgment and self-control. The exact size of the effect is debated in some later research, but the practical takeaway still holds. The more you ask your brain to micromanage, the more likely you are to quit. And here's what most people don't realize. Traditional budgets are built on the assumption that you will consistently make dozens of tiny, good decisions every month. Should I buy this? Should I wait? What category is this? Did I already spend too much on groceries? Can I move $40 from fun to household? That's not a system. That's a willpower contest. And willpower is expensive. Let's zoom out for a second and talk about why it feels like you're fighting the entire world. Because you kind of are. The Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Expenditure Survey shows that a lot of household spending happens in small, frequent purchases like food out of home and entertainment categories, exactly the type of spending that's hardest to police in real time with strict categories. And the Federal Reserve's Survey of Household Economic and Decision-Making has repeatedly found that a large share of adults would struggle to cover an unexpected $400 expense without borrowing or selling something. That's not people are dumb, that's their cash flow has zero slack. So, if you're sitting there thinking, why is budgeting so hard for me? It's because you're trying to manage a high-friction system with low slack inside a high-temptation environment. Cool, great, love that for us. Now, what's the solution? The reverse budget flips the order of operations. A normal budget goes like this. Income comes in, you spend on life, and then whatever is left goes to savings, hopefully. The reverse budget goes like this. Income comes in, you pay your future first, and then you spend what's left, guilt-free. Or more simply, you automate savings, investing, and debt payoff the day money hits. You cover fixed bills, and everything left is your spending money. That's it. It's not that you never look at categories, it's that you stop trying to micromanage categories as the main tool. Because the reverse budget is built around a simple truth. If you secure your priorities first, you can stop obsessing over the rest. And this is where it gets really interesting. The reverse budget doesn't require you to be perfect every day. It only requires you to set up a few automated wins one time. Automation is basically willpower's best friend. Let me tell you about two people. Person A is the traditional budgeter. They set up categories like groceries 400, eating out 150, fun 100, misc 75. Day 9, they're already over on groceries because life happened. Day 13, they move money from fun to groceries. Day 18, something random pops up, so they move money from misc to eating out. Day 26, they're annoyed, they feel broke, and they go, whatever, I'll fix it next month. Person B is the reverse budgeter. Paycheck hits, 300 automatically transfers to savings, 200 automatically goes to investing, 150 automatically goes to extra debt payment. Bills are paid, the rest is free to spend. Person B might still overspend sometimes, but the core goals still happen. And here's the key psychological difference. Person A feels like they are constantly failing. Person B feels like they are constantly winning, even if they're spending the same amount. That matters more than people think. So why does this work so well? There are a few psychological drivers here. First, loss aversion. People feel losses more intensely than gains. It's a key idea from behavioral economics, and it explains why traditional budgets feel emotionally exhausting. Traditional budgeting feels like constant loss. I can't buy this. I'm over in this category. I'm messed up. Reverse budgeting feels like a win. I invested today. My savings happened automatically. I'm on track. Second, defaults are powerful. When the default is money sits in checking, you will spend it. When the default is money gets moved out automatically, you adjust your lifestyle around what's left. Third, you remove daily negotiations. Most spending decisions happen when you're tired, stressed, distracted, or bored. Reverse budgeting removes the need to negotiate with yourself constantly. Instead of asking, should I invest this money? You say, I already invested it. And your brain goes, oh, okay, cool. Now let's do clean math with real numbers. Say you bring home $4,500 per month after taxes. Traditional approach, you try to budget spending first, then save what remains. Maybe you intend to save $500, but realistically you spend $4,300 and save $200. Reverse budget approach, you decide priorities first. Step 1, pay your future first. Emergency fund or sinking funds, $300. Retirement investing, $400. Extra debt payoff, $200. That's $900 total. So immediately $900 is spoken for. $4,500 minus $900 equals $3,600 left. Step 2, fixed bills. Let's estimate. Rent, $1,600, utilities, $200, car payment, insurance and gas, $500, phone and internet, $150, minimum debt payments, $250, other fixed, $200. Total fixed bills, $2,900. Now, $3,600 minus $2,900 equals $700 left. Step 3, guilt-free spending. That $700 is for groceries, eating out, fun, random stuff, hobbies, little treats, whatever. And here's the point. You don't have to stress as much about, did I spend $42 too much at Target? Because the big wins already happened. Now, you might be thinking, Charlie, $700 feels low. Totally fair. But here's the honest part. If $700 feels low, that's not a budgeting problem, that's a cash flow problem. And the reverse budget reveals reality fast. That's a feature, not a bug. Because if your system requires you to pretend you have money you don't have, you're going to break the budget and feel like it's your fault. So what's the actual framework? Reverse budget equals priorities plus fixed bills plus free spend. And your job is to set priorities first. A simple order that works for most people is minimum bills and necessities, emergency fund until it's solid, employer match retirement if you have it, high interest debt payoff, more retirement and investing, sinking funds for stuff like car repairs, holidays, insurance, travel, and then fun spending. If you're drowning in credit card debt, you might swap emergency fund and debt payoff depending on rates and stability, but the structure stays the same. Automate the priorities. Now, you might be thinking, okay, cool, but what if I still blow through the leftover money? Two things. One, it's normal at first. If you've been living like your entire paycheck is spendable, your brain doesn't instantly update just because you moved money to savings. Two, you make it easier by separating accounts. This is one of the most practical, underrated parts of the reverse budget. You create a bills account where income lands and bills get paid. You create a spending account, a separate checking account for guilt-free spending. And you keep savings and investing in their own places with automatic transfers out. Then you transfer a set amount to spending each week. Weekly is key because monthly is too long and too easy to blow. Example, you have $700 per month for free spend. 700 divided by 4 equals 175 per week. So every Monday, 175 goes to your spending account. When it's gone, it's gone. Not because you're being punished, because you already paid your future self. And here's what most people don't realize. This setup uses a principle often called mental accounting. People naturally separate money into buckets in their minds, and those buckets change behavior. You're basically hacking your own brain. Now for the surprising insight. A reverse budget you stick to 80% of the time will beat a detailed category budget you quit after 2 weeks. Consistency beats complexity. And the reverse budget is designed for consistency. It's not sexy, it's not spreadsheet core, it's just effective. So here are the steps to set it up today. Step 1, calculate your monthly take-home income. If it varies, use your low month as the baseline. Any extra income becomes a bonus you assign intentionally. Step 2, list your fixed bills. Housing, utilities, insurance, minimum debt payments, subscriptions you truly need. Be honest, not aspirational. Step 3, pick a future first number. Start smaller than you think if you've been inconsistent. Even $50 a week automated is powerful because it builds identity. I'm someone who saves. A common target over time might be something like 5% to emergency or sinking funds until stable, 10 to 15% to retirement, including match, and extra to high-interest debt. But if that's too much right now, start with something you can maintain and scale later. Step 4, automate it immediately. Automatic transfer to savings the day after payday. Automatic investing if you can. Automatic extra debt payments. If your employer offers a 401k, contributions are automated by default. Use that. Step 5, create the spending lane. A separate checking account works great. Decide your weekly spending amount and transfer weekly. Step 6, add 2 to 3 sinking funds. Car repairs, medical, gifts and holidays, travel, home maintenance. Even $25 to $50 per month per category changes your life over time. Because the unexpected expense isn't unexpected, it's just unscheduled. Now, let's hit a few objections. Objection 1, I want to know where every dollar goes. Look, if you love tracking, go for it. But if your goal is results, you don't need perfect tracking. You need a system that makes the right things happen first. You can still do a quick monthly review to spot leaks. That's different from policing every purchase. Objection 2, what if my income is irregular? Reverse budgeting works even better with irregular income because it forces a priority order. Base your fixed bills on your lowest predictable income. On high months, allocate in this order. Catch up on shortages, top up emergency fund, invest, fill sinking funds, then fun. Objection 3, I'm in debt, I can't save. If you have high interest debt, paying it down is a form of saving. Financially, it's like earning a guaranteed return equal to the interest rate. But having a small emergency buffer, $500 to $1,000, often prevents you from going deeper into debt when life happens. And the Federal Reserve's shed data is exactly why that buffer matters. Let me make this real with a quick story. Say you're Jamie. Jamie tries budgeting every month. It never sticks. Jamie thinks the problem is discipline. Jamie switches to a reverse budget. Payday hits. $150 goes to emergency savings, $250 goes to a Roth IRA, $100 goes as extra on the credit card, bills get paid, and Jamie gets $150 a week on a spending card. Jamie still buys coffee, still eats out sometimes, still lives life, but 3 months later, Jamie realizes there's emergency savings that wasn't there before, investments that weren't there before, debt paid down that wasn't happening before, and there's no constant guilt spiral. Jamie didn't become a new person. Jamie built a system that didn't require being a new person, and that's the part people miss. Reverse budgeting is identity-based. When your system makes you feel behind all the time, you start identifying as bad with money. When your system creates automatic wins, you start identifying as someone who handles money, and that identity drives behavior. So here's the final takeaway. If budgeting has been a struggle, it's probably not because you're lazy or broken or bad with money. It's because you've been using a system that assumes you'll be perfect every day, and you won't. I won't either. The reverse budget is what you do when you're done trying to win a daily willpower battle. You pay your future first, you automate your priorities, and then you live on what's left, without guilt, without spreadsheets, without pretending. So here's your challenge. Today, set up just one automatic transfer, whatever you can sustain, 25, 50, 100, something. And if you want to go all in, set up the 3-account system and the weekly spending transfer, because once you build a system that makes progress unavoidable, your finances stop being a monthly emergency and they start being a long-term plan. If this helped, hit the like button so more people see it, subscribe for more money videos that don't waste your time, and comment reverse if you want to follow up with templates and exact account setups for different income levels. You don't need a perfect budget. You need a system that works even when you're tired. That's the reverse budget.